Hey everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health game video review, where I go over some of the games I've been playing recently. I'm going to talk about two Xbox 360 games that I played recently, which is going to be Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon and Brink. The first game, Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon, is a sequel of sorts to our Earth Defense Force that we had on the Xbox ever so long ago. Which, of course, Earth Defense Force, it was a budget Japanese game back in the day, like Onichibara, where you basically just go around shooting bugs. It's a very bare bones game, very like on par visuals, it gets the job done. And that was the original Xbox one, which they kind of ported over. This is the newer version, which is kind of cool because it supports 3-player co-op, which is fun as hell. I actually did that with Darren and John over the weekend. It was really fun. It has a nice progressive system. I mainly did, of course, the tactical because of the tourists, because it's easy to play single player that way. But it's just a good, classic, fun, kind of arcadey shooter, third-person shooter game. And if you've played previous Earth Defense Force games, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's a fun game just to kind of grind through. I really did enjoy it, but it wasn't until I was playing with John that I realized some of its shortcomings. There's really only like maybe 15 missions in this one, and they all take place in cities. The previous Xbox 360 version had, which is kind of a PS2 port to begin with, had like hives and big cityscapes and big beach levels, and it just felt more open and bigger and more variety. And of course, this one is a lot more fun because you have the 4 different classes and you have the co-op. But the original was still, I want to say, maybe better just because of its very level design, and it had a shitload more levels. But I really did enjoy playing Insect Armageddon. It's probably definitely a game I will pick up when it gets really cheap, and I'll be playing online with people. I do wish they kind of let you have more than just 3 people co-oping. I mean, let it have up to 8. You know, if it just makes the game easier, then that's our thing. We can bump up the difficulty. But I mean, I always think for any online game, you should be able to have at least 8 people, single-player campaign, just for the fun of it. But a good game. Definitely recommend Insect Armageddon, and I'm also going to throw my review of Earth Defense Force 2017 below that. Moving on here, the other game I'm talking about is going to be Brink. Brink, you know, I think it actually looks pretty cool. It has its little style and charm. It has a great gameplay engine. The video games engine is superb, like it for a first-person shooter. Everything else, though, not really digging. I mean, it's basically a team-based cooperative shooter along the lines of course, Team Fortress. To me personally, I think it has too much going on. It's still a fun game. It takes a lot of time to get used to the maps. I found it kind of overwhelming until I started to do some of the challenges, which are kind of tutorials. The plot, which of course these games shouldn't have, but they try to do one for this one, which I give them credit for trying. I couldn't wrap my head around. I just, you know, I don't really dig it. I mean, if these people in the Ark built the Ark, and then floods came and refugees came to it, and they didn't want them, they start causing trouble, then, you know, who cares? The refugees didn't build it, they didn't plan ahead. They're refugees, you know, they should be lucky they even have a chance to live. So for them even to think about having resistance and going against the agency, as I call it, or security, or the Ark, is just ludicrous. They have no right to do that, and I just couldn't wrap my head around that plot until some of the basic video logs you open up kind of give you a better description. But of course, that's just me. I play a lot of these games for the narrative, and for a game like this that doesn't have that strong of a narrative, I kind of rate it a little bit lower. But it's still a fun game. I did some co-op with a couple of friends and whatnot, and it's still a solid class-based game. I did mostly engineer and operative. But as a standard shooter, it's okay. You know, definitely give it a play. I can't really recommend it over other games out there. I mean, it's not going to knock the throne of Modern Warfare 3 or Battlefield or any games like that. But, you know, it's serviceable. But if anything, the game showcased the engine. It has a very fluid engine, and I give them credit for that. Hopefully they'll use it in other games and whatnot. But Brink, not that bad of a game. Like I said, I got my notes down in review, so as always, that's kind of about it. I have some other games coming up soon. I'll be playing probably Dead Island and Hawks 2, Tony Clancy's Hawks, the fighter one soon. So, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.